In the last two videos, we looked at how the CPU and RAM affect performance in NinjaTrader. Today we will be doing the same for the SSD storage device. I tested 3 different SSDs to see how their speed affects performance in NinjaTrader, and I also created what's called a RAM drive, which is creating a small storage space in the system memory, and it's very fast, to see how that compares to the SSD storage drives. The system I used was an AMD Ryzen 9 9950X, and I was running Windows 11 Professional and NinjaTrader 8.1.6.0 with 64 gigabytes of RAM. I tested each drive on the system, and these are the results I got. I used a program called Crystal Disk Mark, and the numbers you see are the speed of the drive, and you can see each drive gets faster than the previous drive. For this video, I added a new test that I didn't use in the previous video, which is running 3 strategies at the same time in Market Replay. I previously only used one, but I found sometimes I'm running more than one, and I'm curious how that compares on different computers. So for the first test, I wanted to really try to test that SSD. So I used 6 instruments at the same time, with 3 indicators on each instrument and 4 time frames for each one of those. So it was a total of 72 indicators, and it was optimizing over 3 trade days from October 14th to October 16th. And if we look at the results, there's not a big performance difference between the different drives. The RAM drive surprisingly comes in last place in this test. And if we go to the next test and we take the 1 tick away and reduce it to just 1 minute, it reduces to a total of 54 indicators. And we can see that the RAM drive here takes the top spot, which we kind of expect, but the drives are still very close together, and there's not a big performance difference between the drives. So if we jump over to Market Replay and we run the same strategy in Market Replay, we get the same story where the RAM drive takes the top spot, but the other drives are still very close together. And lastly, we have the Market Replay with 3 strategies, and we can see here we're now running a total of 216 indicators, and unfortunately we get the same results as the other 2 tests, where the RAM drive takes the top spot by a very small margin, and the drives are very, very close together, so there's not a big performance difference between the drives. So in conclusion, NinjaTrader does not appear to be very storage constrained or performance sensitive. Across all the tests, the average difference in performance between all the drives was 1.15%, so very small difference there. And the RAM drive, despite being the fastest in 3 out of 4 tests, was only the fastest by an average of 0.5%, so very small margin of victory there for the drive. So I think it's safe to say you don't need to go out and buy the fastest, best drive that you can find for an NinjaTrader. Maybe there are some use cases out there, like different indicators or custom software indicators and stuff like that can really use your storage more, but it seems like the built-in functions of NinjaTrader don't use storage a whole lot. So I just wanted to have a little summary here now that we're on our 3rd video of what we've learned. So what we learned is that the CPU is the biggest driver of performance in NinjaTrader, so that is the #1 thing you should look for when building a PC for NinjaTrader. RAM speed has minimal impact, and SSD speed also has minimal impact on performance. So the next video I probably have lined up is I'm getting 2 new CPUs, and I'm excited to test those against the current reigning CPU, the AMD Ryzen 9 9950X, so we'll see how that does. If you have any experience with storage and NinjaTrader that you'd like to share your experience, or any ideas for future tests, let me know. Thanks for watching.